Greetings out there in YouTube land from the planet Earth. Been a little bit since I did one on the weather, and there's a lot of weather. Look, I mean, you don't. I like the BBC one better. It's the most accurate one I've come across anyway. You can zoom in and all that, right? Their forecast, man, look at that. A lot of stuff going over there heading towards England right now. You see right now, right? And look at more coming. But look over here in the Asian sector. Oh man, look at it all, right? Coming in right here. Here's Japan, right? Look at the storm coming, right? Look at that. See, they got enough problems as it is over there, right? And they had so many storms. I mean, super typhoons. Basically, if they were anywhere else, they would have called them a Category 5. Coming in that area, it is really something, brothers and sisters, right? And you can like look at the different parts here, right? Yes, here. Go back up here. I like this one. Really accurate, because I'll be doing some traveling soon. It's a good idea to have an accurate one as you can of the weather, right? You know, especially when you're going to be traveling and that, and we're going to be in the region and so forth, right? I have some people to meet that on from the site that God put me there to write on, and meet some really cool brothers and sisters. And ironic, you're going to laugh, I know. Since they lay hands, of course, you already know it. They believe in Jesus and they happen to be ill, right? And need a little helping hand. I love it. Jesus got an excellent sense of humor with me. You see these couple of storms coming towards England and Oslo here and all that, and then more coming off here. This is a really good map, and I highly recommend it for you people if you don't got it. Just take a look at it. It's free too. It's the bbc.com weather map, and the things that their observations, they're accurate, of course. Their long range forecast. Oh man, I tell you, I don't want to zoom in anymore, but pick your spot, right? Pick your spot wherever you want. This Asian area right down here, right? So it's going on. And it's really something watching these things. And they're the most accurate you see out there. Right now, there's a lot of them that are pretty good, right? This one is the most accurate I've seen, right? You've seen the storms come down and everything's changing all the time, right? But I'm going to the Philippines. I'm talking with a Philippine lady right now, right? I got her praying for a lady in the Netherlands I got to go to. Can you please pray for Bernice, who's got 104 fever right now? She's under a heavy demonic attack in that area since the high priest of Satan, ahead of a lot of covens, and his wife is a coven witch herself, right? In charge of a coven, stole her SD card. They forced a kind of a personal care nurse on her to administer her morphine and all that, and she just had a surgery and all that. And then her blood thing came back, and they were casting curses on everybody over there. Apparently, you know, throwing around the room, you know, Marks the Blood, the whole horror movie thing going on with her for a while. I know her. And the thing is, her fellowship, over a dozen of them are being tormented as well, brothers and sisters. I know you're gonna, how can that be? Because they didn't know to stand on their authority. Too many people are all into the Pharisees' head thing, you know, and they think that's what it's all about. But they're forgetting it's more than that, because the Pharisees tried to cast them out in Jesus' name, remember? They said, we know who Jesus is, but who are you? Laughed at him and had their way with him. Because, you know, if they'd done it, they would have said, see, we can do it too, but they never would have said it was in Jesus' name. You and I both know that. So do the evil spirits, and so did God. That's why it didn't, you know, come on, it didn't work. Right? You got to know who you are, a child of God, and you got to be willing to stand tall in your authority. Remember, you're made to stand and stomp on serpents, right? We're the winners, right? They're the ones who are going to end up in the lake of fire, okay? Not you if you're standing tall for Jesus, okay? Think about that. But people are forgetting their authority and forgetting who they are. They're being taught false teachings and gospels to wimp them out. Jesus spoke boldly. All the apostles and disciples, and there were many more than a dozen of them, don't you recall? He sent 70 out at one time by twos. Well, I'd say it's a little bit more than 12, in case we forgot, right? But many of you out there, sadly, worship a false image, man, and is an idol. Do your math. Read your Bible again, please, and tell me how many people were at that Last Supper. And look at that picture people bow down to, right? Not real. There was no woman there, anything. People bow down and worship it like it's a sacred object. Read your Leviticus 26:1 and 26:30. There's more in it, but those two say it all, right? And anything that comes before God in your life, God considers an idol. He expects you to take care of your family, put your family, you know, their needs and all that. Take care of them, while all these false churches and shepherds out there ripping you off on the tide, doing it the wrong way. Yeah, I know there were farmers back then, but those guys have no shame, a lot of the false ones. Now, yes, support one that provides you food, period, because the meat of the word, man, that's food, okay? If you're fed, okay. See, back then the tithe went to the church, which basically is the government, which paid everything. But now you're already paying taxes on your money. And people are expecting Corbin out of you, which is so anti-scripture, man. Because, hey, I was healed by Jesus. Trust me. And I'm not going to lie to you. Why would I? I could end up in hell, right? Now, the thing is, I've heard a lot of people teaching on it, and they're accurate, okay? You're supposed to take care of the family, your medicine, your food. People have been putting that off to send money into the greedy false shepherds, man. No, 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 no. And if you are giving some right now, and you know what they're saying ain't right, oh, he's going to hold you as a partaker. That's putting in your money with them and going with them. So if they rob or murder you, you're going to be held just as guilty, man. No, no, no. If you're a partaker, you're going to repent and say, oh, sorry, Lord. Because the minute you know that, hey, man, what they're teaching ain't right, that abundance or whatever flyaway doctrine, it ain't true, by the way. Yes, there's a caught up. You guys just don't understand because of the 1827. I thought it was 1830. I apologize. I looked it up, and it was 1827, New Age teaching of the rapture because it never was there before. They misunderstood some minor little scraps of information there, which were referring to Revelation 7:9. Some of those who are already there, and the ones who will be there. And it tells you when in verse 14. Great tribulation, okay? My God that healed me does not lie, okay? Think about it. If World War I wasn't great in his eyes, and World War II wasn't great in his eyes, since God is not like a man, he doesn't exaggerate or whatever. We all have a little bit of tribulation in our lives. Don't let anybody lie to you. We're in the beginning of tribulation. This is the beginning of sorrows. Or hasn't anybody noticed that Hosea prophecies rock with all the animals dying and all these other ones in play right now? Now Matthew 24 is in play as well. While many of you are sitting on your bag of gold and don't even know it. Many are going to be passing and perishing real soon. There are many reasons for it. Some of you probably don't know. Some of God's war horses still need riders, so some good people got to go because they're waiting for their riders to come, okay? Not all of you are, but some think some are, okay? The war horses are waiting for the riders. I've heard brothers and sisters are getting visions about that. They're waiting for the riders. Now you look at Revelation 6, verses 9 to 11. It has to be fulfilled out. Those who stand tall for Jesus and won't take the mark, they're going to be highly honored heroes in heaven. Glory be, man. So these storms and everything are getting worse, just like Jesus said. These earthquakes are all over the place, just like Jesus said. Everything is happening, just like Jesus said. And Damascus is in ruin. That was written over 3,500 years ago. And it said Damascus would be a ruin and rubble before Jesus comes back. For the first time in 3,500 years, that is so right now. As Russia and Iran, as Turkey and Iran get together to take out the Kurds in Syria, well, Israel is having an issue with them. And it's all, and you gotta admit, Saudi Arabia being green, come on, man, right? So much is going on right now, right? And it's third temple about to go up, and the Antichrist is looking pretty good. They're strutting on the world stage, I think, personally, but still, that's his business. I'll leave him alone to do his thing. I got mine. We all got our parts to play, whether some of you realize or not. Whoever God picks to confront him is going to do their thing. That's what God picks. Don't interfere. Don't take it upon yourself to do things. I'm going to do this. No, it'll never work. It'll only backfire and make things worse. I learned my lesson when I went off mission because I ran into some poser Christians, what they call lukewarm, right? And some false shepherds. I didn't know what they were back then because I turned my back on God for a while when I was an altar boy a long time ago. When he showed me the faces on their faces of the hearts of some men, right? And it freaked me out. And I just didn't want to be any part of what they called Christians, right? I didn't. And I rebelled for a while. But he was always there trying to, get me to talk to him again, right? But the only time I talked to him is those moments, well, I'm probably going to see you soon, real soon, but hey, I probably won't make it, but if, in case I don't make it, at least I try type thing, right? He loves it, I don't give up. But I was a bit stubborn. I was the one that's thick-headed and didn't understand, and I didn't want to admit it, okay? Then I was working for a little bit, but I was dragging my heels, and then I went off that mission there because I said, oh, I'm going to help people get off drugs, okay? Why am I telling you this? Because Jesus fixed me up, okay? And I know he cleaned my heart. I know he did because he told me I had a clean heart, okay? He fixed my mind with all the concussions and stroke damage I had. And I couldn't have the thoughts some of you have. If I tried, I wouldn't want to. He gave me a clean mind and a clean heart. And the saddest part is, I still fall under not a righteous person on the planet, brothers and sisters. because I did sins and all that. But even after Jesus gave me a clean heart and told me I have a clean heart because he did it himself, I still don't fall under a righteous person on the planet. Because he says God looks down and there's not a righteous person on the planet. And that includes me. But I see brothers and sisters tearing each other apart, lifting themselves up on pedestals like they're better than everybody else. This is the reason I bring this up. If Jesus, who healed me, and says I got a clean heart because he's the one who did it, doesn't think I'm a righteous person, and there are many others like me, I'm not the only one. He's fixing people all the time. And none of us are a righteous person. And all of us know that we're just one of many because we understand Revelation 7:9 now. And we know that God is no respecter of persons. He raises kings up and tears them down. Why are so many raising themselves on a pedestal, brothers and sisters? Watch out for these big name shepherds and teachers. There's so many of them are false, living in their fancy $10 million mansions, flying their mega million G5 planes or whatever the latest number is. You know, we got to have these fancy jets and all that. Is a sign of success? He just never had a place to lay his head, right? And they're all about bling and all that. I didn't even want to wear any suits anymore. I used to wear suits all the time. I used to have my maid. I'm being honest with you, right? And he just told me to go buy 2 suits because some of you people discriminate, sadly. Like, you wouldn't even let John in the door if he showed up, right? Because the way he was dressed. Didn't matter his message, the way some of you are, sadly, these days. But there are others that aren't. But, you know, it's a sign that you go there and forever, whatever reason, some people out there think just because the guy's wearing a suit, he knows what he's talking about. And these suits ain't cheap like a lot of those fancy pastors you see wearing out there. Yeah, they may have bigger names, but my suits cost a hell of a lot more money. He just told me the ones to buy. He told me the place to go. And a clothier going out of business after 70 years. The 70 thing is popping up a lot of places, like 70 nations. This guy did a beautiful job in these suits. I mean, oh, incredible. 2 of them cost me more. They're worth more, should I say, than most of you people will pay for renting an entire year. Right? You said buy them. And I did it in faith. I didn't even know why back then. And then I found out later that I'm going to the many nations thing, right? So I got to pay attention because I got people from all over this area, including there, and then I go all the way over here, right? And we're talking Africa, India, you know. I mean, just wow, right? And I know people, all this area has all these earthquake problems, and I know people are here too. But all along this area, they're the people that, and even Mexico, all these places, boom. And on that site that you just put me, I got a connection with people there. Boom, 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 boom. People, I even put 2 verses, just Leviticus 26:1 and 26:30 there. And within 33 minutes, I got 5 likes. No joke. On a site, some people are telling others, oh, that's a porn site. He's always saying, don't go there. That was a site that God picked himself for me to work. You need workers in the field that aren't afraid to work. And there are other brothers and sisters out there standing tall in there. It's like life out there. Part of Sodom, part lukewarm, and part believers, man. It's just like life, right? Part that don't, you know, believe. It's all a combination of them all. Just like real life, because it is real life. People from around the planet there all the time. So no matter what time it is, wherever you're at, there's somebody up. Even if you can't sleep, boom, there's somebody up. So there's somebody you could talk to. And there are many of them putting up stuff by Jesus. And all they've seen these people who like it and stuff, right? They're putting up stuff on their profiles that identifies them as people of faith. So other people are adding them as friends and start talking, and they're meeting people all around the world and having a fellowship with true believers, because a lot of them are tired of the lukewarm they're running into, brothers and sisters. God is moving mightily right now, making moves. I just heard from a sister I just met, okay? No joke, right? She told me that a sister that she knows just got word from God. He wants her going to India, where he touched a man from that room. And he's going to drive me around all of India when I'm there. Praise Jesus. That same man, he asked me to pray for a sister that was on their deathbed. You know, they're thinking about her soul, right? He just knew what they're thinking about, right? And he wasn't having none of it. I got less than 24 hours later. I'm saying less. It wasn't even a day. I got a message back. She's recovered and well, hallelujah. And they're all praising Jesus right now. He was making sure the way for me would be even better there than it was, because he stirred the fire of faith and hope before I even get there. And I'm not even leaving sometime after September 1st. I don't even know when. He's going to tell me when. Right? Because, hey, I'm working on the middle of Romans 12:12. Plus, he got a great sense of humor with me. I talked a lot about Sergeant York 1941. I loved it because it was a true story. An honestly true story. And they talk about God pretty much throughout the whole thing. If you watch it, unlike I know the movies today, because it's a true story, okay, on how God changed a man's life in 18 months. Well, and I was telling a person about it, and this is about a month and a half, 2 months in, okay, about how great I felt. And Jesus said, you think that's something, just wait till next March, and that's only a year, and laughed, right? Because he calls me on stuff. I was doing some writings and trying to do some ministry on Revelation 7:9, and how our brothers and sisters all over the world worship a bit differently than we do, sing different songs, speak different languages, and say the name of Jesus in different languages. Don't be harking on a name, because Jesus has many names, right? Look at his children all over the world. Well, Jesus called me on that because I was discriminating. I like all music. I said, I had to see in front of rap. You know what I think about it, because a lot of it was bad. I'm going to put up a video, one thing to add it to one thing, and boom, all of a sudden, a Christian rap. That's what Jesus does, right? With me. And I get the messages right quick. And all of a sudden, boom, and he lays it on me. Guess what? You're going to be doing some traveling. And and boom, and also my wife, I go, was that him to make me sure? Because I was thinking, no, man. I haven't been on a plane since 1986, okay? So and my wife is still alive that she didn't pass yet. And I said, I was going to ask. Was that, don't even ask, right? Yeah, it was. You're going to India, Africa, Australia, yada, 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 and it's like, and I already knew my first two stops. One guy in the UK is a must, and a lady in the Netherlands. That might be the only two people I see there. I know the one in the UK could be more because the guy's got a really big family, apparently all ill, right? And some friends too, and so forth. I don't know how long I'm going to be there. A little bit, but I'm going to let people know anyway. I'm going to be doing videos and stuff. Then I move on to the Netherlands, where I know it's a sister. And apparently now all her whole fellowship, they need my help, right? And whoever more God puts in my path, and then I move on, I was saying right here, to whatever destination he tells me next. But India's already taken care of. We've got Australia. I've already got Hawaii. A lady that's offering me a house to stay in Hawaii, right? Well, if I'm there to go minister. Praise Jesus. I didn't even know Hawaii was on my list. I was thinking I'm so close to Australia, and I was on all these Philippine people and from that area are like, hey, are you going to come by here? You go, boom. Yeah, you can come by, lay hands, and I just knew it. And then also, it's the religious belt, man. It's the Pacific religious belt. Like the religious belt used to be in the United States. The Southern religious belt. It used to be there. Not really there anymore. Some will say it is, but it's pretty much dead. I mean, some of you already know that. There's small pockets of it. What do they call it? Remnants, I believe is the right phrase. Remnants of it still alive, but pretty much it's all dead. When you think of them allowing babies to be born alive and then sometime later be killed and counted as not being born. When Jesus tells you in Jeremiah, I knew your name before I was even born. The baby sacrifice is murder to Baal. I mean, and then when you put baby DNA parts and stuff into the foods, into the shots they're giving people, I don't care what excuse they give. I'm sorry. No. When they're growing cultured meat in the lab, well, I don't know what it came from. I don't think so. They're going to tell you the cows are bad for you. Oh, a cow farted. Oh, it's caused air pollution. Well, guess what? The cows were here a lot longer than the morons telling you they caused air pollution. Never had a problem. Maybe if they didn't cut down the rainforest and every tree they could find, that maybe the air would be cleaner if they didn't pollute it every time you turned around and dump all that radioactive crap and garbage in the oceans to kill the fish. Because we live in a bloody terrarium, or haven't you figured it out yet, most of you? God gives us all the free energy we needed. It rains on your head. It's called rain. Simple electrolysis separates it into two flammable gases. You can run your cars and engines and motors on it. Okay? Duh. The exhaust is clean, pure. It'll keep your engine clean, like running like brand new. Okay? Zero pollution. Water vapor exhaust. You could drive for free every time it rains or fill up your tank with water. Not gas, okay? The pollutes, okay? Zero pollution. Runs better like new all the time. But they don't want you to have that. A long time ago, they had you could get one of the trucks a farmer's driving full of it, send them the wrong truck by mistake, right? Full of all that gear, and junk farmers throw around. He was getting 150 miles a gallon with all that. Oops, can we have that back? They ended up giving the guy $250,000. I think it was like a new truck every year for 10 years to get it back. But that's the ones that, for the big shots that they get for the company, plus the ones they give to the military are like that. Think about it. If you could get over 100, and this thing is loaded with all the crap in the back. If you had that in your car, you get over 200 miles an hour, probably easy, right? I mean, a gallon, easy. But they don't want you doing that, man. You fill up your tank and drive to the other end of the state. No. They want you to go in the electric one where you got to plug in every so many uh, few miles, not far. So they sit back and laugh. Oh yeah, we got you. Let's build a wall because the wall works both ways, brothers and sisters. I tell you, when I saw that thing in October 2020 kicking in, your biometric, and you need permission to leave the United States, I was okay. And that was put in like in the Obama days, so and all that, and a bunch of stuff's going in there. Mandatory chipping of you, so you're low jack, so they check you and they can see wherever you went. They can listen to everybody, everything you say, because everybody you talk to, because it's microphone. What else is new, right? But they probably tell you it's not. Then they tell you they those things can inject stuff. Oh yeah, I heard about them drugs that they got many of them that kill the religious part of the brain. That they're better if injected, but they can aerosol spray. But you have to do it several times or more over large populations, right, for it to be effective. And then everybody sees chemtrails and whatever else is in there. These are the last days, brothers and sisters, right? And a lot of these conspiracy people are actually right because it is being done. It's just all game, right? All these guys may shake their fists at each other for the news media, but they're all in bed together and you know it. Right? Sadly, it's a sad fact. We all know that. They got their game, their one world government plan, but guess what? Jesus got his own. Sure, Satan's here already. No big deal. Why? Because Jesus is coming to kick ass after it. Right? In a world of fake everything else, even fake meat grown in the lab called cultured meat. What else is new? Fake GMOs and all that, fake this and that, fake purses, fake everything. Everything's a knockoff. What else should we expect but a fake Jesus next, right? I don't know about you, brothers and sisters. I'm tired of fake. I want 100% pure, real Jesus, right? But don't worry, he's coming soon. Because Satan ain't going to be saying he's God for long, man, till the real one decides to, hey, I'm coming. Remember that. The sister in Christ got a vision. Okay, she said it in her stream tonight. And she was putting on the wedding dress. She saw the wolf with the fangs and venom dripping off the fangs, but they couldn't go near her. And she walked into a room there, and there were all her loved ones that had passed and all that were there, right? And her pets and that had passed, and everything was there. And she knew right away she was at the Lord's wedding feast. He was showing her that it's very, very, very close and soon to be ready. Just keep standing tall and not let her guard down. Because as long as you keep your focus on the Lord and stay strong, he will not allow the venomous wolves and that to tear you apart. They won't be able to hurt you. Just stand strong in him. Keep your faith in Jesus. He's got your back. It's so close to the end of the race, brothers and sisters, and only the bold in Christ will make it. Remember, Jesus spoke boldly. The apostles and the disciples spoke boldly. What does hot mean in the Bible? Bold for Jesus, saying, "Here I am, Lord." Right? Well, everybody else, yeah, whatever. I don't got time. Later, dude. They told everybody to prepare for the wedding feast if you want to. I got better things to do than show up at your wedding feast, remember? So he sent his servants out to gather everybody else that wanted to show up because they thought they had better things to do. Make sure you're not one of the ones who thought you had better things to do and actually answer the invite you sent and show up. The choice is up to you, brothers and sisters. But I know that sister's going to be there because I was blessed enough to understand some dreams and visions. I don't say I understand them all. I never heard them all. But the ones that have been brought before me, I do understand. That's the love of Jesus, just sharing the good news of me. Because I love to see beautiful flowers grow, the little sparrows of Jesus singing their songs for Jesus. And by singing a song, you could either talk, sing, or whatever. But they were saying the Bible, in case you didn't know, right? More than just the Psalms, by the way. I have some beautiful sung Bible verses in my Hebrew and Aramaic sung Bible verses. And there are other ones besides Psalms sung. They're so beautiful, sung in Hebrew and English, right? Sadly, the one that I have in Isaiah 61 is, okay, it's in Hebrew, but the last 20 or 25 seconds, the volume cuts down. But I messaged the place, and they did say they were going to redo it, okay? But it is so beautiful, and if any of you have never heard Isaiah or Joel or any other one sung, I prefer Michael and Christine, but because they're awesome. They do it in English and Hebrew both, right? With it written on the thing. Christine puts the old Hebrew, the modern, and in English on the screen all the time. She's got teaching. She's got, I think it's called Yum Yum. I got it on my page, she put on their thing. But she's put all these daily things to help you kick your bad habits. It's little encouragement messages she puts out there. She's got some teaching as well. She's a messianic out of Israel. She's so nice, and her singing is so beautiful. I'm hoping during my travels that I end up get a chance to go to Israel and run into her, because it's going to be near. I'm getting in Africa, and it's rather, I know some places down there where you can end up. There's a doctor I know there that I got to go see. I'm pretty sure it's him. Right where that machine gun preacher guy is, right? I think it's just a little under that guy, just under the Sudan there. For all I know, he might be right closer to the guy. For all I know, he moves around a lot because this guy isn't a regular doctor. He trains doctors and nurse practitioners and all that. Yeah, he quit his job after running into me and talking to me a few times, eh? And he went to Africa. I think he left in 2016, right? Sometime. And anyway, he got his thing in order. It might have been the end of 2016, maybe beginning. So it didn't really matter, right? He packed up, closed his practice, went over to set things up, came back, sold whatever, and went back there again. And straight up, that's it. And he's been doing it since. He just used that man to get me out of the hospital, even though he'd never seen me. Just didn't know why I was walking in my room. Got me out of there when they didn't want to let me go. And I never went back. Came to see me 2 times on a Sunday in January there later. And when you listen to what matters most, what's important in life for a guy who doesn't know if he's going to be alive from breath to breath, he was thinking about something. And I know this because God brought him there. Why else would he show up on a Sunday? Just talk with me. And after he even bought me the gift, the first time he talked with me, he didn't know why. Right? And when you don't know if you're going to be alive to breath, your priorities are different. So many of you brothers and sisters out there, you think you have forever, but you don't. There's less than 4 usable years left. How can I say this? The temple's about to go up. I know Jason and I talked about it. And you know what he knows it. They announced it. They dedicated the altar in front of 70 nations, right? I know they have the stuff that was missing because I talked to Jesus about that. And he said soon before they even got it. And then when he announced that, I knew they already had it. He told me it would be returned to Israel shortly. And he just don't lie. And he announced it. I'm not bragging on him. He's telling other people too. I'm just one of many. The thing is, so right away, you know it's going to go up shortly. The peace deal is going to go through, right? And you know what happens 42 months later, or moons, because there's 13 moons in the calendar, but still, here. You look and go, okay, I don't call anything after he says that he's pretending to be God to people as usable for me personally. Well, it is for God's work, yes, but I mean, for goods and services going around, because I sure ain't taking no mark to buy or sell. I figure now's the time to get goods while everything's freely going, and you don't need a mark to buy them. I'm sure a lot of people can find a way to store 5, 6 months worth of food and supplies somewhere. Not saying it might do every one of them good, but it might do some of them, I don't know. See, just pray on it, see what the Lord tells you. Some people are meant to ride it out. Some people are meant to do Revelation 6, 9 to 11. Others are meant to be brought into the Antichrist to be quiet and let the Holy Spirit do the talking like Pentecost and walk out of there. He's got different roles for different people. Because some are meant to be here for a little while later to do other things, maybe to bump into somebody that he brings your way. It's, oh, tell me about Jesus or something, right? You don't know. I don't know everything. I know enough and way more than I want. I stopped asking. I don't want to know anymore. Let's put it that way. It took me all the way to Lake of Fire and after, okay? I don't want to know anymore. I didn't need to know the final details, right? Many of you got the Bible right there telling you. Remember the 3 children, though, brothers and sisters. That's the most important lesson. Most of you don't even get it. There was no Jesus then. There was no Matthew. There was no Mark. There was no nothing. There's Daniel. He wasn't even in the lion's den yet. They didn't even have a New Testament to really speak of or anything. They didn't know. They said, hey, he could if he wanted to. He probably won't, but he could if he wanted to. When he told them to bow down to an idol. They stood on faith in God and trust in God. They didn't know if they're going to die or not, but they stood in faith in God, trusting God. He could do it if he wanted to, but he probably won't, but he could. And what happened? The guy said, whoa, there's not 3, there's 4 of them, and they're dancing with the Son of God, man. And anybody that tried to sit near died. And when they came out, they didn't even smell the smoke, weren't burned, nothing. Okay? They didn't have the golden plate that many of you do have. Think about it. God gave everything to you on a gold plate. 3 little children just stood on faith in God and trusted in him. Because they figured if they passed, hey, they'd be with him. If they didn't, well, hey, great. Either way, it didn't matter. They had trust in God. Do you have the faith of 3 little children who didn't even know about Jesus or not? So many of you talk the good game, but hey, let's keep it real, okay? The Bible's honest. Do your math. They don't lie. Look at the numbers. And you go, what numbers? Revelation 3, verses 11 to 18. You don't want anybody stealing your crown. You can earn up to 7 of them, by the way. And if you overcome, God will write his name on you. You'll be a pillar in his house. If I say 12, okay, keep on rolling down. You ought to know that all the 7 churches thought they were hot, but clearly 5 were not, but somebody forget that. Go on down there. He would have rather you were cold or hot, but since you're clearly not in lukewarm, one of the definitions for lukewarm is lack of effort. Sitting with a foot in both worlds, serving 2 masters. Can't decide either you want to be with him or not. God can respect the cold because they made a decision. They didn't want to be with him. This is all they have. Then they ride the slide. But you guys, a lot of you lukewarms out there, are waving the Bible with a foot in both worlds, quoting a couple of verses like John 3:16 and 1 or 2. That's it. But some of you have no shame. You're out there quoting Luke 9:61, forgetting that Jesus rebuked in verse 62, right? Reading all these different edited Bibles, man. You know, it's not my place, but God had me buy new ones, okay? The 1611 original text, because this way I got it in my hand, so it can't be edited online later type thing. I got it in my hand. But all these other ones are supposed to be based of. They tell you that NLT is just the modern English version of the King James Version, which is a lie. Just looking at Ezekiel 13, verse 17 down, where God is talking about that he's against the flyaway doctrine, right? They're teaching. Is you look at the NLT, it's a totally different story, man. Look at the others. And that's just one part of it that's edited, right? Oh, modern words, my butt. In the Bible days, leasing meant telling lies. Today, it's lease a car, lease an apartment. Satan was so smart, he changed the meaning of words. So they're looking at it and thinking these words have a modern meaning. Some of them can apply to that. Many of them don't. These guys are talking pence and things like that. They didn't use pence in Israel. They changed it to their terminology that they understood in the time period. Some of the translations wasn't as accurate as it could be. There are many rooms in my Father's house. My Father's house is coming here. They had nooks in the walls where the priest would rest in that, or they had somebody to talk to, because they had 24 times, and they had to be on duty 2 of those 24, but they all had to be there for the main feast thing, right? But while they're there away from home, they had to have a place to lodge, right? So it was right there because they were on duty. They couldn't go anywhere. Many people forget that. And in my Father's house there are many rooms, and my Father's house is coming here. It makes sense when you think about the New Jerusalem. I've heard people saying, "Oh, we're gonna have 10 mansions and this and that, and live on the right-hand side of Jesus, man." Everybody wants to live on the right-hand side of Jesus, so then the rest of heaven is going to be empty. You're going to have this 10 billion mile higher or more skyscraper right next to Jesus, but they all want mansions there. Well, sorry, I don't think you can put that many mansions all on the right-hand side of Jesus. I'll be right next door to him. It's a high-rise, right? But I don't think Jesus is going to want to live next to a super high-rise, like 10 million miles or more high, man. It'll block the view, right? Some of you just never thought, man. That's so selfish, man. Right? Anyway, I hear the dings, right? I'm getting messages on the other site. And I got to get back because I'm waiting for Jesus, right? And another site. It's global, right? Brothers and sisters all over the world are just checking the weather. Give some of them a heads up. Take a moment and check the weather for you. Are you heading south or north, man? Go for north, man. Riding the slide is not what you think of. It's not Party Central. It's Satan, man. It's God's prison. God is moving people right now. When he's giving them dreams and visions, get ready to putting your wedding clothes on. It's that close because Satan's going to do his thing just after it. Be ready. Those who perish will be lucky, a lot of them. Pray to be found worthy to avoid the things to come, okay? Many of them are just taken for granted. They're going to get caught up early, being up Scotty, when they don't even understand. The rapture is a new age concept. Being caught up is the real deal. And it's right there speaking about it. You just didn't know how to read it, understand it, or where to look. Think about it. Bye-bye.